Hi everyone, hope you're having a great day. My name is Zach and I'm the author of the Cargo Trailer to Camper Conversion Guide. It's a how-to guide on how to convert a cargo trailer all the way to a camper so that you'll be able to save yourself time, money, and effort. Highly recommended. If you're interested, I'll post a link up top. But today I want to give you a tour of my cargo trailer camper conversion. Now I had a few goals when I set out to build my cargo trailer camper. First off, I needed it small and light because I tow it with a Ford Ranger. And also, a lot of the places that we like to camp are way off the beaten track, like this place we are right now. And you would never make it in there with a full-size camper. Second, I wanted it to be 4 seasons. So we do a lot of camping into winter. So it had to be fully insulated, a good heating system, and good all year round. Third goal, I wanted it to have all the options of a full-size camper. So I wanted a kitchen inside, I wanted a bathroom inside, I wanted to have a shower, and I wanted a full-size bed, which this is. It's a queen-size bed. So to find a trailer like that, I found the only way to do it would be to build it myself, and then this was a good option. Let me give you a tour of it. So this trailer started as my old construction trailer. It's a 6x10 cargo trailer. And you can see this, the size of the original one. The roof is started there and it ended right above that light. But the trailer wasn't wide enough for what we needed. So I widened it by 6 inches on either side. And the 6 inches come out over top of the wheels, which is very good because it doesn't increase the track of the trailer. I also had to lengthen it a bit. So I extended another 22 inches on the back of the trailer. You can see the original roof and then it came back, but I wanted to have a good departure angle. So I cut this at a 45 degree, just so it doesn't get hung up on rocks and ruts. So first off, the exterior of the trailer, I painted it with Raptor liner, and it's supposed to be like the truck, but the truck is textured. This is not textured because halfway through the paint got stuck in the mail when the mail went on strike. So right now it's got the base coat painted, but it still needs the texture. I've got the paint now, so stay tuned for that project coming soon. On the tongue of the trailer, I've got a fold-up jack for clearance, and then I've got my cargo box here. The propane runs the water heater, and then I've got my diesel tank in here. This is for my diesel heater. And then I've got one of these silent pumps. Well, they're quiet pumps, they're not silent. And a little damper that really helps for the noise for the diesel heater. Moving along, I have stabilizer jacks that fold away. Also the steps, they're fold away steps for ground clearance so that nothing hangs down. I've replaced the door with an RV door because I like it. It gives you the bug screen inside with the RV lock. Put a handle there for getting in and out. These steps are to get to the roof when I want to put the chimney on, well, the cap on the chimney for the wood stove. This is a water fill. I've got 2 water tanks in this trailer, 30 gallons per side. So this is the water fill for this side. The tires are 31 by 10.5 inch tires and Ford Ranger rims. This is my 110 volt plug-in, and then this is actually just a plug-in for if I want to run exterior solar panels. I've installed some lights up there on both sides that I can turn on from inside, plus my doorstep light there. The awning is a Smitty built 6x6. It's been a great little awning, even in high winds. It does well, snow. Added these lights off of Amazon. I'll post the links in the description. This is a fire exit window, plus it's got a vent on the bottom because I wanted 2 exits, so you could get out the door or you could get out the back here, especially with the wood stove inside. And I think just for safety, it's nice to have 2 exits. Checker plate down here. And then my 2 stabilizer arms. And if you notice, there's no water tanks underneath. Everything's inside for clearance and also for cold weather. We've camped when this has been minus 28 and nothing frozen. On this side, we've got a water fill for this side water tank. And this is for an exterior connection where you can connect a hose. You can run a hose to wash off the trailer, wash off the dog. And also I want to reverse it so it can take water in through a filter system while I'm camping. See my diesel heater exhaust right there? This is actually the exhaust for my on-demand water heater. I'll explain that more inside. Let me see if I can climb this hill and give you a good view of the roof. Here's the roof. You can see I've got up here the vent, which is power vent, and also 2 solar panels. These are 170 watts a piece, but they're shingled solar panels. Much more efficient You get a lot more wattage out of it. Okay, let's get to the inside. We'll just start at the door, work our way around. You can see, as I mentioned, it's got the RV door. This is an insulated cover for the window for winter camping. It keeps the condensation down. These are just some fold-out hooks. Very handy, just for storage. Hooks along the shelf here. Same thing. These are interesting. They're from IKEA, and they're really light plastic drawers. You can see they're very handy down here. We've got toilet paper. Over here we've got Maggie's things. So it's thin, super lightweight plastic. Really good for the nose of the trailer to keep it light. The flooring, it's vinyl sheet flooring from an RV. Got our little boot tray there. Here's the shower. Right now we've just got the toilet. What we use is just a normal compact toilet. We also have a compostable toilet that we use when we're traveling longer distances. The shower itself just drains out the bottom. If I'm in a campground or if I'm somewhere where I need to contain that, I just run it into one of those portable RV tanks. Up top, this is just a PVC tubing that I glued together, painted it black as a rail for the shower curtain. Put some hooks back there. We also added a few of these little dispensers for the soap and the shampoo. This little holder, flexible for the shower head. And there's no mixer on this. It just comes out hot. Well, it comes out warm. So let me show you what's in behind here. So this here's an actual boat hatch. And in here, it's got our on-demand hot water heater. And what I did is I put this vent on the top, so it vents outside. And in there is like a blast gate, so I can close that for winter time. And then I can drain it. So when we're camping in the winter and we wanted hot water, we'll have our shower. Then we'll shut off the water lines, drain this unit so there's no water in here to freeze. And then just turn it back on again when we want our next shower. I also put a little computer fan in there just to pressurize this compartment to push the combustion gas out. So that works really well. You can just set the temperature right here then for whatever you want the shower to be. Close it up, seal it, and then have your shower. Okay, moving on. So this is our 2-burner stovetop. Stainless backsplash. This metal is actually just the metal off the back of here when I took it off from the old trailer. There's a 12-volt fridge. I like the electric fridge. Just it's steady all the time. Underneath here, I've got my, you can see my diesel heater there. And then this is just a gray water tank. Our little sink. Soap dispenser. Here I put a drawer. This is just where we keep all our silverware and everything else. Food up here. And then that's the power vented fan right there, right above the stove. Over here, here's all the controls. So this is the switches for everything, like our exterior lights, the fan for that little power venter down there. Everything's here. And then here's the tank monitors, my solar controller, my diesel heater. And then this is just a shunt. It just measures how much power I've been using. So you can see right now we've been camping for 5 days and I started with 300 amp hours. So I've got 3 100 amp hour lithium batteries. So this is the configuration we have when we have it set up for eating here. This is our table. We've got these little cubby holes, put our pillows back there, and then also some bedding and stuff can go up here. Right now we're camping when it's cold, so we have the really heavy sleeping bags, so there's nowhere to really put that except there. We've got these little shelves here. These are from IKEA. Super handy. We can just put our tablets in there, or phones, glasses, that sort of thing. Over here is an iPad holder. Great for if you want to watch TV. Folds out. Again, another one of those little holders. One kind of neat thing that I found was, so these are just normal RV table legs. They just pop out. But there was a guy on Etsy that sells these little holders, and the table leg slides into there, clicks into here, and it's locked in. Because when we travel, this table is always down. And then we put the cushions across. It just, then it doesn't bounce around. So I'll come back to here. I'll show you what's underneath each one of these benches here in a second. And up top, some more cupboards. We put the cupboards on both sides. You can see that's my shutoff for my solar panels. And then these are just little gas shocks to hold these open. It also keeps them closed. They don't pop open. Built this little cubby holes here just to store stuff. There's our little wood stove. It's a cubic mini. It goes up through ceiling right there. Highly recommend this, especially if you're doing any kind of, late fall, early spring camping where you've got condensation in your trailer. These will really dry out the trailer for you. And it's nice, I find anyway, especially when I'm winter camping, to have 2 heat sources as a backup just in case. In here, cupboard where we store all our electronics, and I put a little charge port in there. I can charge my drone and stuff while we're at camp. This little drawer to access firewood, propane monitor, and then this is where we keep our tools for the wood stove, and that's the water tank on the one side. One thing too with the roof, the walls, everything has 1 inch of insulation in it. And then I ran 1/4 inch strips of plywood that were screwed to the metal frame. And then that thermal bubble foil wrap in between those studs, basically those wood studs. And then I stapled into those studs. So there's no thermal coupling from the outside to the inside. There's no condensation on any screw. Nothing drips. Well, the only thing that drips is this thing. There's not much I can do with that except maybe get a cover. I don't know if you guys know of anything, like some kind of a winter fan. Like, do they make a cover that's double pane? I'm not too sure. Love to know that if you know. So everything though is insulated 1 inch. And then in the floor, it's got 2.5 inch of insulation on the bottom. There you can see the table legs just snap in there like that. Very secure. And then I just put the table in here. You can see what the back of the trailer looks like too, with that 45 outside. It's not too bad inside. There's still lots of room to sit, 2 on either side. And then that tube going across, that's just where all the wires and the plumbing goes through from side to side. On this side and the passenger side, I've got that one water tank that I showed you on the other side of the stove here. So it runs through there. So that's 30 gallons there. And then my 3 lithium batteries. And then in there, that's my solar controller. And this connection here is actually just to connect a charger. I can put my Norco charger down there. That's the 110 plug from outside. I just run like one of these power bars, and then it's got a built-in circuit protection and also surge. My fuse block, and then the shut off for the main power. And then this little shut off, that's for the solar controller. So everything's fairly compact in there. So on the driver's side, I've got another water tank. So this is also a 30-gallon water tank. And then this is where my water pump is. So I've got that little water pump there, little filter expansion tank. And then that's the valve where I can select between the right or left tank. So total, I got 60 gallons of water, and that's more than enough for camping for a week easy without skimping on water at all. Just while we're here too, this back window, what I did is I added a second layer of plexiglass in here. I don't know if you can see that. So that causes this window to not have condensation on it, and it's been great. It helps a lot because there was a lot of condensation happening on this back window. My next project is I want to put pieces of plastic over top of the metal frame here just to provide a little bit of that thermal break. And I'd like to, in that plastic frame, I'd like to have a roller shade that goes up and down inside that plastic shade. So that's another project. Also, these windows, I'm going to be swapping them out. These are just a single pane, and I've got some 4-season windows to go in. Okay, that's going to wrap up this tour. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy it, please consider giving me a thumbs up. Subscribe for more content to come. Down below, I would love to hear what you liked about the trailer, what you thought I did well, but also what you think that I could improve on. On top of that, I would love to hear, if you're considering doing a cargo trailer camp, what sort of things intimidate you? Like, like maybe make you not want to do it or think that scared about doing it, because I'd love to make more videos on that. Again, I've got my cargo trailer to camper conversion guide. I highly recommend it. It's 90 pages long, covers electrical, plumbing, selecting a cargo trailer, maintenance, a lot of the things that I learned along the way and things I wish I would have known ahead of time. So if you're interested, $19.99, link up top. But we will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.